Hello, this is Mrs. Cindy again, and we are on our last section of Chapter 5 for right now. Well, forever, really. If you have moved too fast, then I'll definitely give you some temperature information and some problem solving. But this is a pretty fun chapter. I like this one a lot. Now, what we're going to do right now is repeat a little bit of Chapter 4, where we looked at expressions and equations and how to solve. But now we're bringing in the negatives that we've just learned, okay, those negative values and the integers and number line. Okay, so nothing different. We're just going to add some variables in here and solve like we were solving at the end of Chapter 4. Okay, so here we go. So you want to, okay, in this section, let's just remind ourselves that we want to use the addition property. Well, the addition, the subtraction, the multiplication, and the division properties of equality. Okay, that's what we need to be using today. What we do to one side, we do to both sides. And so that kind of what you should be saying to yourself is to both sides. Okay, I'm doing this to both sides at all time. Okay, that's what we're always doing in order to solve these problems. Now, let's look at some problems then. Okay, problem number 1. We're going to work through problems just because you've done this before. Let's just see how we methodically do it from here on out. Okay, so we have something like 3 minus n is equal to negative 17. Crazy, huh? 3 plus n is equal to negative 17. What we would do here, okay, is we want to isolate the variable, and the variable has to be positive, okay? The variable absolutely has to be positive. So we're going to change colors here, and we are going to go ahead and move this variable to this side so it's positive. So we're going to add n here, we're going to add in here, and then we get 3 is equal to negative 17 plus n. Now what we want to do is we want to get n by itself, now that it's positive. So we are going to cancel out the 17 on this, the negative 17 on this side by adding 17 to both sides. Add 17, add 17. Here it cancels. We have n by itself, and we have 20 on this side. Now we check ourselves. 3 minus 20 is equal to negative 17. Keep, change, change. Yes, indeed. Negative 17 is equal to negative 17. Both sides are the same. Okay? That's one example of a question. Let's do something different. Let's go ahead and try this. So it's going to say evaluate, or going to be the instructions. A plus B times C. If A is equal to 2, B is equal to negative 4, and C is equal to negative 7. So we plug in. So next step is A is equal to 2 plus B, which is negative 4, times a negative 7. Now, what do we have to pay attention to? Order of operations. So that means that you are looking for what goes first. Multiplication goes first, so we circle what goes first, and we rewrite 2 plus negative 4 times a negative 7 is a negative 28. I'm sorry, not negative 28. A negative times a negative is a positive. Whoa, mistake there. Negative times negative is a positive. That's why we're going methodically. Then what we get to do is we get to add a 2 plus a positive 28, which is just so much more fun. Okay, so the answer is 30. Let's try a different question. Let's try negative 3. Or nope, sorry. Let's try 15 is equal to m over a negative 3. Again, we have to isolate the variable. So our first step is going to be to, oops, I turned that white, that's not helpful. First step, we're going to multiply both sides times a -3 to get rid of that -3 on the bottom. Okay, we multiply this, we get -45, and that is equal to m. A negative times a positive is a negative. Okay, so nothing really new. I'm not teaching you anything new. We're just applying everything that we've learned before. Okay, and then of course we check. -45 divided by a -3 will give us a +15. Excellent. What if we have a problem that looks like this? 14 minus f, subtract f, is equal to a -3. Again, we have that negative on that side. We don't want it on that side, man, not at all. So we're going to add f to both sides, cancel it out here. 14 is equal to -3 plus f. We're going to add 3 to both sides, and we will get a lovely 17 is equal to a lovely positive f. For some reason, that reminded me of ketchup. I don't know why that color combination was a ketchup-y color, but that was to me. And then the last one, let's say we have -500 is equal to a -50p. Okay, cancel. We want to get that, that p all by itself. And so we are going to divide both sides by a -50, divide by a -50, and we will get p is equal to, the zeros cancel, the negatives cancel, 5 into 50 is a lovely 10. Okay, there we go. Good. So you are just going to practice, 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 and then we will we'll be looking at our test pretty soon. Good work, and make sure to ask lots of questions today.